It has been 1 year since the Where's Kate conspiracy theories reached a fever pitch online. And news to me, but we received an update on this. I don't know where I was in October 2024, but sanctions for Russian disinformation linked to Kate rumors. Props to MataFact who found this article. We're going to go into more detail on our podcast Patreon, which is off with their headlines. This is from the BBC. 6 Russian agencies and individuals accused of being part of a disinformation network face sanctions from the UK government. It's by the so-called doppelganger group, and they had already been linked to spreading false rumors about the Princess of Wales earlier in the year. And of course, if you give a mouse a cookie, she's probably going to have to go back and find the article that popped into her head from last year that's related to this. I'm unwell. This article was from March 2024, and it came out just days after Catherine's video announcing her medical condition. Headline: China and Russia spreading slurs against Princess of Wales. Those quotations let us know that somewhere in this article, it will be attributed to someone. Here is the subhead: Whitehall figures fear hostile states have helped to fuel wild conspiracy theories in attempt to destabilize nation. But here's where I think there's been a failure overall in reporting. The use of the word troll. In this piece, they discuss how after Kate had announced her diagnosis, Rishi Sunak, who was the former PM, took to Twitter to say the social media trolls targeting her have been abhorrent. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. How much of that were trolls, real people, and how much of it was a coordinated effort to amplify disinformation and sow discord into a nation? Then trolls comes up again when they quote an article that says the princess had been re-victimized by trolls. This is according to a disinformation chief. Now that text is hyperlinked and it brings you to an article written on the same day by the royal reporter who also contributed to this piece. Here we go. Princess of Wales re-victimized by trolls over cancer disclosure. Social media conspiracy theorists are doubling down by saying diagnosis should have been revealed earlier. So by trolls, are we talking about real people? And is everyone that had questions about the rollout of this diagnosis, are they all social media conspiracy theorists? The chief executive for the Center for Countering Digital Hate said that conspiracy theories about Catherine had been amplified on social media platforms in order to reach, quote, millions and millions of people. Yes. Are we going to talk about the potential role that Russian disinformation played in that? Even if the disinformation did not all originate from this Russian group, we know that they'll find certain messages to amplify. Nowhere in this piece does it mention Russian disinformation. And it's like, you helped write this piece, contributed in some way just a couple of hours later. Let's just say the information learned about Russia was new and didn't make this online edition. Why did no one go back and update it? Why was this story so underreported in October? I have said from the beginning of all of this, the PR crisis failure of this situation rests with Kensington Palace and the Waleses, but also the way most royal reporters covered this. There was such a rush to write sanctimonious op-eds about how mean everyone was being to Catherine. And don't you feel bad now? Like, yeah, people that contributed in that, yeah, self-reflection, sure. Not to discuss the role that disinformation might have played in all of this. That the media knew since March of last year that Russia might have been in play. This could have been an opportunity to inform the public about the way disinformation campaigns from foreign adversaries can make their way online into current issues. But to label it as this solely societal failing is disingenuous. The use of the word trolls without clarifying, and then social media conspiracy theorists, that's all intentional. It's one of the many failures of reporting on this story. Sanctions were applied to a group of agencies and senior staff on Russia, which the Foreign Office said all part of this disinformation campaign. It goes on to say that this Russian operation was identified by security experts at Cardiff University and that they promoted online rumors about Catherine. Also in here is the fact that the French government claims that Doppelganger also was linked to efforts to undermine support for Ukraine and disrupt their elections. We know they love messing in an election, but it also gives a potential reason for going after Britain, and that is the support for Ukraine, which Russia doesn't like because they are busy trying to convince people that they didn't start this war. I'm going to look into way more articles to piece this together, but all of that is going to be covered with Amanda, MataFact, over on our Patreon, off with their headlines. Stay tuned.